Welcome to another video, and today we are talking about something that is very interesting. You might have an Apple Watch or you might have a smartphone, and nowadays in 2021 you can actually pay with both, which is an absolute insane experience. I remember the very first time when I went somewhere, I was with someone and I paid with Apple Pay, and this person next to me said, "How did you do that and what you exactly did?" Because it's just like a ping and you already paid. Now the world is getting more complicated, right? More complex, and that's why I believe there's always two kind of companies or strategies how a company can really survive, right? So there's one, they can just re-innovate themselves, right? They go from payment to wallets to whatever is the next big trend in the finance world. On the other side, it's really important to see that there's not only that, so innovating themselves, but also actually just to do the following, just to do mergers and acquisitions. And the next stock that we are talking about, TECHX Industries, is actually doing the later, because it's so amazing what they see in potential of all of these companies that they just announced a partnership with or acquisitions, are in so different fields and from some different cultures. One company is, for example, from Estonia, right? So from Europe and so on. So I think that this kind of strategy is very interesting. So let's dive into it, what it's really about. Guys, the most important part is always, make your own research. It's not sufficient to watch YouTube videos and just copy what someone says. You need to really dive into it, research the company for your own. Everybody has a different investment style, and some of this video, like this one, is sponsored to review this company and to show you that this stock exists. So it's really important that you make your own decision, because I'm not a financial advisor that can tell you what to invest in, and with that said, let's go into the article that is linked here into the description, because there you can see that you can have all the information that you need. Okay, so first, it's OTC and Canadian Stock Exchange traded stock and company. So that means that you need to look for these exchanges when you want to invest into this company. Okay, so when you go later on into the article, you see that there is, let's say, the saying that everyone looking for the next big thing, right? Especially when something pops up, a fintech, for example, everybody is like, okay, who is the next big fintech company, right? And this is exactly what is like the nice catch here in this article to say, everyone is looking for the next fintech unicorn. Riot Blockchain has gone from $1.16 in March 6, 2020 to $79.5 in February 2021. This is insane. Those are insane numbers, and this is exactly the company, the size that we are talking about today, because they have still so much room to grow. If they make things right, then this can happen to this stock as well. So it's a moonshot, and you should really consider that this kind of stocks, this kind of small market cap stocks, it's really important to understand that it's, it can go 10x very fast, but it can be also on the other side, right? It can fall down very fast as well. But let's talk about the company first a little bit, okay? When you are scrolling down, you will have a lot of interesting facts. For example, here they're telling us which companies they either fully acquired to implement into their company, or they partially acquired. Okay, so here, for example, 100% of 3030, or 19% of Catalyx Exchange, or 100% of the assets of crypto to Body AI, or 100% of export, and so on. So all of these new products and these new services come to the portfolios of TECHX. So you have like the kind of a Swiss knife, of very interesting, very futuristic financial services. Because as you think about it, companies like Goldman and Sachs or bigger companies are slowly touching this market, right? For example, Visa did like a recent move into crypto or accepting crypto, or MasterCard as well, right? While TECHX is already, talking about and doing this, and is one of the most leading companies worldwide to have crypto to credit card payments and vice versa. And so I think that this is really important to understand that you have here a very big faceted company with their products and services, all right? And if you are looking further down, we will dive into the stock chart in a second, but if you're going further down, you are seeing here, an acquisition of the company that I talked about from Estonia for 16 million Canadian dollars and so on. So they spent already a lot of money to buy really great products. And then you have the top 8 reasons. They, for example, offer also stake, which, locks up your cryptocurrency, and they pay even up to 16% return of investment, so to say, interest on your holdings, which is like insane, so really good arguments for the company to leave the money with you. And then all the other services that come on top of all the acquisitions are really, really interesting. So let's dive into the stock chart. Today's stock chart by TECHX Technologies. By the way, I really like the name. It looks a little bit like SpaceX, So let's start with the market cap, all right? We are looking here at a $38 million company, which is very, very low, right? I mean, it has so much to grow. And if you consider all of this M&As that they did, the mergers, the acquisitions, they alone spent like $16 million on this company from Estonia. So the market cap is, in my personal opinion, if the companies are considered to be part of this, let's say, conglomerate, is quite interesting, right? I mean, just like from a logical standpoint, it's something that to look into. The second part that I really like here is obviously the 52 moving average. And this is exactly the part where I say, penny stocks can go crazy up, but then at the same time crazy down at some point. Okay, we are now with 0.53 at some half of the highest ever paid price for this stock, as you can see, but we are way, more than almost 20x from the lowest part. So there's definitely room to grow if we are going back to this all-time high. But if you're thinking about that, let's have a look into the chart. And the 6-month chart is looking tremendously good, which shows you the, let's say, steady growth of this company. Here, for example, with 4 Canadian dollar cents, and then obviously it had the highest point just recently with January, February, March, and then April was the all-time high. And since then we lost a little bit of pricing due to the general underheating of the market. The market was a little bit overheated in my personal opinion. So you had like all this momentum stocks, the OTC stocks, then the penny stocks, all of this new scene that is popping up currently. I feel like the heat went a little bit up, which is not a bad thing in general. Always it's nice to see when the stock goes a little bit lower, just to make sure to not be overheated, and that's what's great. So with that said, let's dive into the conclusion of today's video. So the conclusion of this video is obviously here, and I make it quick, okay? First of all, make sure to follow me on Instagram, okay? This is my handle. Make sure to follow me there. All of the crazy things happening. I'm currently in Mykonos, as you know, so there's a lot of things to show, and it makes so much fun, and I want to share it obviously with you. So make sure to follow me there. Second, make sure to make your own research. As I said, it's not sufficient to just watch videos and make the investment decision based on that only. So make sure to also do your research on your paragraphs, what is important for you. With growth, you will need to see investments that you feeling safe to put money into. And then third, I want to just conclude this, that it's interesting when something like crypto, mobile payments, like this new trend is coming up, to be in this kind of new upcomers that really spend money and try to build a huge portfolio. It's very interesting to be that early on those interesting stocks, because then you can really benefit if the companies succeed to go very, very high. The stocks usually, if they are very, very early in stage, very, very cheap, cheap in terms of like a couple of, you get like a lot of stocks for a very less money, but then you are really having, you know, not the, let's say, trouble that, you know, you must go with the mentality into this kind of stocks, you know, to say, okay, you know, it's very, very high reward for very, very high risk. Okay, this must be very, very important for you. With that said, check out the link into the description for all the information, and I see you tomorrow.